Thank you, Patrick. It's amazing and powerful to see these demos. We at Google share that excitement for AI. It is something that we've been on a mission to do to make AI helpful for everybody. My name is Mo Abdullah. I lead the technical team in the Asia-Pacific region. I spend my days working with customers to make AI a reality in their environments. Now, for those of you who have been following Google, you will know or notice that for us, we've been investing in AI for as long as we existed. In fact, for Google, AI probably came before cloud. We've invested in models, we've invested in research, we've also invested in putting it into our own products. It is in this beautiful city of London that a dream of one person called Dr. Demis turned into reality when he built DeepMind, now part of Google. A lot of that amazing research is coming in the hands of consumers, businesses, and partners. When we think of it, we think of the culmination of all of this innovation as coming into what we call Gemini. Gemini has come to be known to everybody as the model behind the way you can generate images, the model behind new videos, the model behind a lot of research. But more importantly, it has become a critical piece of technology for e-commerce sellers, retailers, and wholesalers. Google is proud to be the #1 partner for retailers and e-commerces around the world. But we also realize that when we think about models and AI, we can't just think of them through the consumer lens of more exciting experiences or generating videos or having much greater cat videos. We have to think about AI in the way that it solves real problems. When we talk to e-commerce, digital businesses, we identify with 3 critical issues. Definitely, the world is volatile. Supply chains are volatile. We heard Dr. Zhang and Patrick talk about this. Operational complexity. How do you actually reduce payment transactions? And certainly, resource constraints. So what role can AI play in helping us overcome these issues? Models on their own are not sufficient, which is exactly why we started to invest in the Agentic AI platform. Let me share a little bit more about what we've mean by that. Everybody thinks of an agent in its simplest form, automating a task. But an agent is also capable of creating personalized experiences because it can bring a lot of information together. And more importantly, it can actually help us solve complex business workflows. Think of a marketing campaign management being a singular transaction that is resource constrained and operationally complex, that we can scale it and run it without limits. That's the power of an agentic platform. Now here comes the exciting part. So bear with me, I'm the techie person, so I have to put some techie stuff into this conversation. In order for us to build an agentic platform, we have to break it down into 3 components. The first, agents need a brain. They need a brain. The second, they need to be able to create things. And the third, they have to be able to execute on what they're thinking and creating. When we think about the brain, it refers to the ability for us to reason, to think, and to take context. So the smarter the brain, the more capable the brain, the more powerful the agent. If a brain can ingest millions of documents, it's smarter than a brain that can only take 1 document or 2. If a brain can understand context over a longer period of time, it doesn't forget what you talked about it. It doesn't become Dory the fish. It knows how to communicate with you over a long period of time. That's what we think of as the brain. Mr. Zhang's demo showed that using things like the brain allows AI to solve complex problems. For example, calculating this total landed cost that we saw in the demo. That's the brain. At Google, we're investing a lot in building the most powerful brain. The second part that I mentioned earlier is the creation. Now the creator, and I need to just get my slide, there you go. The creator is the ability for you to take something that was in the hand of experts, disconnected from you, and make it available to anybody that wants to be productive in that context. We started by creating conversations. That was the beginning of AI. Then we moved on to start to create images. Then we moved on to create videos. Then we started to communicate bidirectionally, live translation. And then we started to use the creator to imagine things very quickly. Like this example, take a photo of a cat, we all love cats. Take a photo of a dog, some people may love dogs more. Take a photo of a person, combine them, and you can get an image in sub-seconds. Now imagine this being in the hand of the marketing campaign manager. They're no longer constrained by which agency. Where do I find the agency? How much does the agency charge? Because we've made it much more powerful for them. And then last, the executioner. The executioner is for the agent to be able to deal with a number of tools. When I say tools, what are tools? A tool can be another model. It talks to a Gemini, or it talks to an OpenAI, or it talks to an Anthropic. A tool can simply be an API that I call. Give me this particular credit check. A tool can also be a database that sits inside of our own systems. So an agent should be able to speak with all of these tools to be able to execute on a task. Get me the inventory, check if I need to do an order, go do that order. So instead of a human spending all their time doing this manual effort, the agent can perform all of these pieces. So brain, creation, and execution are at the heart of the ability for us to build an agentic platform. In fact, when we think about it, we think of the combination of those things coming together to be able to express themselves in a new experience. So if you look at this particular example, you see an agentic payment derived that makes the life of a buyer and a seller much simpler. It no longer needs to connect, take something for hours, instrument it. The agent understands where the information is, it creates an experience, and it connects into it. When we also say agents, we don't say agents as autonomous only. We realize that agents need to operate in multiple engagement models. An agent can simply be an advisor. I need to know about this. Tell me what I should do about that. An agent could be something that assists you in automating some or part of your task. I take over some of the tasks, but I continue to supervise them. And the last one, which we're moving to and getting exciting, is an agent as part of a multi-system. Can you get a group of agents to communicate and work together to achieve a more complex workflow and reimagine it? Now, behind all of that is an architecture that we have built for what we refer to as the Agentic Commerce Reference Architecture. Under the hood, what begins with an engagement channel, whether it's a web, mobile, or voice, flowing through an orchestration layer that is matched to it. You're able to connect it into a core multi-agent system, an agent that might handle content management, one that handles a channel, and so on and so forth, built on top of data stores that have been secured and for governance, and on a portable infrastructure inside of your environment and anywhere in the world. This is exactly why this particular food retail chain was able to shift from simply using AI to do a better catalog, more exciting picture of its banana, or more fresh, produce, and you do search, to actually start to work with their customers towards an outcome. The outcome being is, I want to prepare a meal plan for 4 of my friends. 2 of them are vegan, 1 of them is such, help me. And that agentic experience allowed them to build their basket, put the right contents, and cater for them. Many, many customers are looking at doing this across industries and across geographies. To us, being able to deliver the next generation of commerce is highly dependent on our ability to take advantage of the agentic platform and the models that support it. I want to go back to where I started, which is at Google. We're very excited about this phase that we're in. For us as technologists, this is like Christmas happening every week. One day we wake up to something called a nano banana that's redefining the way you do images. The next day we're getting up to a whole new technology that we didn't think was possible. And with the advances in AI, we are imagining new scenarios. Everything that we've talked about today is possible, and by tomorrow, we probably have new experiences. Our goal is to make AI helpful for everyone. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.